Hi guys, my name is Chetan and welcome to my channel English with CD. So today's Al's topic is describe a person who impressed you the most when you were in primary school. However, before I go ahead, I want to tell you a little bit about myself today. So I have an experience of training people in IELTS for more than now 8-9 years, close to a decade I'd say. And besides that, I take communication classes as well for all age groups, adults, teenagers, as well as people who are like in the age group of 40s and 50s too. Some are homemakers, business people. I take business English as well. So anyone who wants to do that, do so. For me, you can contact me through the comments. I'll read them, and do follow me on Instagram as well. And now quickly, let's go ahead and begin with the topic. The question is, describe a person who impressed you the most when you were in primary school. The follow-up questions are, the way you have to answer is who he or she is, how you know them, why he or she impressed you, and how you feel about them. Now, you make sure you watch the complete QZ video because I'll be giving you some important tip to ensure so that you get easy with the speaking section. You don't feel hesitated talking. Okay, so let's quickly begin with it. So when I think about primary school, I feel that a lot of people whom I met were really nice and impressed me in certain ways. Some are really creative. For example, my art teacher, she was very good, very creative. Her name was Archana. There was one PT teacher was very strict, however taught me a lot, because I feel that it is only because of him that I'm able to speak English now, because he was making sure that we are talking English always. And now the person who's very special to me, who impressed me the most, is my class teacher. Her name was Kamal Sadana. She was a class teacher for me in grade 4th and 5th. She was teaching me maths and science. She was one of those persons whom, no matter, even if you want to forget, you cannot do so. She had a personality which was really magnetic. She was enticing every time. So enticing means attractive. You know, you can use another word as well, lured, in between, instead of enticing. So she had this extra quality of teaching students in a very personalized manner. What she was doing, every weak student whom she thought is not doing good with the studies, and to ensure that they're coming up with the learning curve as per the other students, she was taking extra classes. Now, not extra classes at home and charging for it. That was not the case. What she was doing, she was staying back in the school. And believe me, she wasn't getting paid for it at all. Now, probably the scenario has changed. At that time, it wasn't the scenario. So she was teaching proactively without being even asking for it. And I was, I'd not say unfortunately, I would say fortunately, because she taught me a lot of things about life as well. So I was one of them. And she taught us in detail about the maths concept. Because I considered myself to be a very weak student in terms of maths. I could never understand the basic concept of maths even. So when she was training us, teaching us, it was in a very different way. And the one thing which I feel I should be learning from her is patience. In my entire schooling life, till the time I stayed with that school, believe me, I had never seen my teacher shouting at anyone. She had a smiling face always. She always came across as a person who is very generous and kind-hearted. Because I want to give you an example of a person of kind-heartedness as well here. I remember we had a fight with one of the students, and it normally happens. Now, I was surprised to see that besides seeing us fighting, she did not slap. She did not believe in the concept of beating people or slapping them. She had this view that if you beat them, they'll become more aggressive and they'll become more rigid. She explained us as to what are the negatives of your fighting and what are the positives if you act as friends, if you be friends. You can do a lot of things. You can have a positive change in your life. And that thing certainly hit me. And now also I try to be friends with everyone. Sometimes it happens exceptionally. But yeah, otherwise I do try. Other than that, I feel overall she was one person who taught me a lot about life in general And I'd say I can give the complete credit of me being a teacher to her, because she is my biggest inspiration so far. So thank you so much, guys, for listening to me. And before I wrap up, as I discussed one tip, so one tip what I say with speaking is, do not, so for example, you have these follow-up questions, who, why. Sometimes you are completely stuck to those questions. You want to answer them serial-wise. It is good to answer it serial-wise. However, in case you're not remembering them, in case you get confused in between while talking, just remember one concept of 5 wives and 1 husband. That is where, what, why, who, which, and how. If you remember this and follow this thing in your speaking, believe me, you'll be covering each and everything in your speaking part. And that would really be helpful to you. And besides that, if there's anything that you're looking specific for me to answer, do let me know in the comment box. I'll be more than happy to address that to you. Thank you so much for your time. You have a lovely day ahead. Bye.